Want your suit to stand out? It starts from getting this one detail correct. Neighbors, let's talk. Today, we're delving into one of the most overlooked but essential elements of men's suiting, the lapel. Whether you're dressing up for a wedding, the boardroom, or just want to elevate your overall style game, understanding lapels is key to nailing that confident, polished look. It's all part of a new series on jackets, following on from the series on pants, which I did the other side of the new year. So what are we going to cover in this video? Well, first we're going to define what is a lapel and what's its purpose. Then we're going to delve into the different kinds of lapels. What lapel should you be wearing and why? And finally, we're going to discuss maintenance. A suit is an investment, and like any investment, you have to learn how to protect it. Maintaining the sharpness and crispness of a lapel is crucial to making sure your suit lasts for years to come. So what exactly is a lapel? It's the folded fabric on the neckline and chest of your suit jacket or blazer that gives it its personality and structure. Think of it as the jacket version of a shirt collar. It's not just functional, it's a defining feature of any jacket. Lapels can seem a small detail, but they're anything but. Typically, they're triangular in shape and they come in different styles, each one with the potential to completely transform your overall style. From subtlety to making bold statements, lapels can completely transform the overall look and aesthetic of an outfit. The key thing is getting the proportions right. But don't worry, because I'm going to delve into that a little later in the video. Why do lapels matter? Well, first, they give formality and structure to your jacket. A jacket without lapels just doesn't seem to have the same commanding presence. Second, lapels frame your physique. So the narrower the lapel, the more it elongates your torso, giving you slimness and height. And the broader a lapel, the more it broadens your shoulders and give you a sense of heft, dominance, and presence. So there are three different types of lapels, and the most classic and versatile and common type is called the notch lapel. This sport jacket that I'm holding up has got the notch lapels. They're called notch. They get their name from this triangular shape that's notched into the lapel itself. A key maxim that you can take away is when in doubt, go notch, because again, as I said, it's common, it's classical, and it's a good and subtle style that sort of seeps into any outfit, whether it's for work, for dates, for the boardroom. It goes from casual to formal, and even dinner suits can even have a notch lapel as well. The second style is called the peak lapel. It gets its name because the lapel itself points upwards and has a sharp edge like a mountaintop, hence why it's called a peak. It's a little bit more formal and dressy than the notch lapel, so it's ideal for things like weddings or evening events. But don't underestimate its power in the boardroom. A good example of the difference in language of the notch lapel and the peak lapel is compare the aesthetic of Harvey Specter and Mike Ross in suits. Mike Ross is always dressed in a notch lapel suit, and Harvey, who is the boss, the alpha male in the dynamic, he's always in this broadly cut peak lapel. He's the dominant guy in the office, and he wears this really proud peak lapel that elongates his shoulders, giving him that sense of leadership, making him feel like a boss. So even in the boardroom, if you want to have a little bit more presence, a little bit more executive presence and dominance, a good way to go is the peak lapel, but it's not essential, or you can still look distinguished and a leader in the right kind of notch lapel as well. But Mike Ross and Harvey is a good example of the contrasts in language and feel of these two lapels. The final type of lapel is shawl lapel, getting its name because it looks like a shawl is wrapped around your shoulders and chest. It's the smooth, rounded finish that you see on tuxedos and dinner suits. If you want to know more about this, I did a video breaking it down sometime last winter, so click the link above and check that out. Ever wondered about that button on the left lapel? Well, it's not just there for decoration. Originally, it was used to button up the jacket all the way to the top on chillier days. Now it's more of a decorative piece. It's used on special occasions such as weddings or evenings to add a lapel pin or a boutonniere. A bonus tip to look out for when looking at sort of high-end suits, so this is something that's maybe made to measure or actually bespoke tailor-made suits, they have a little elastic fastener behind the lapel, and that's to secure either a lapel pin or a boutonniere on special occasions. Now let's talk about lapel width. The width of your lapel should match your body proportions for a balanced look. Slim lapels are usually 2.5 inches wide and are best for chest sizes up to 38 inches. Regular lapels are usually 3.3 inches wide and are perfect for most body types between 36 and 50 inches. Wide lapels, which are 3.5 inches wide or more, are great for chest sizes 40 inches or up. Remember, it's all about proportion. A wide lapel on a smaller frame can overwhelm, while a slim lapel on a broader shoulder chest might look out of place. Remember guys, you have to understand the rules in order to break them. So I will caveat this because those are quite broad brushstroke statements. This is one of my jackets. It's got a very broad peak lapel. Now, I'm not necessarily a big guy. I'm 5'9" and I weigh about 70 kilograms. So I'm not a big guy, but this works for me because this broadens out my shoulders. It makes my shoulders look broader. I've got quite narrow shoulders, so I actually like quite a proud padded jacket. It gives me a little bit more heft, a little bit more presence when I wear a suit jacket. So a jacket like this, even though I'm not the biggest guy, actually helps elongate and gives me more dominance. So this is something that I wear if I really want to make a statement. If I want something more subtle, as I said, I'm wearing a t-shirt inside of this jacket. This is a narrower lapel. So this actually works for a slightly more subtle look. If I was going to a business meeting or if I was going to courts, for example, I may bring out this one to give me a little bit more presence and dominance. So it's not all about if you're a bigger guy, wear big lapels. If you're a smaller guy, wear small lapels. It's all about what you're trying to achieve overall in your look. And that's the art of styling. Want to add some visual interest to your lapel? Enter lapel pins. These little accessories can add visual interest and flair to your overall look and to your jacket. Just make sure that you're applying the pin on the left-hand side lapel where the button is provided. Don't put it on the right because it will pierce the fabric unnecessary, which could cause damage. Of course, for special occasions like weddings, you can add a boutonniere, but I wouldn't recommend that if you're going to court or to a funeral, for example. To look after the fabric, make sure that you're investing in a quality lapel pin. Check that if it's stainless steel, that's usually a good sign that it's well made. It will just mean that it will pierce the fabric nice and cleanly, causing minimal damage to the fabrics. If it's cheap, it will bend, it will pull on the fabrics, which might cause damage. Quick tips on maintenance, guys, and a couple of tools that I would recommend that you get. Lapels tend to wrinkle, so when you're hanging up your suit jacket in your wardrobe, try and use a broad hanger. If it's padded, even better, but this will preserve the shape of your jacket and look after the lapels. Do not use thin, wide hangers. That's a recipe for disaster for the quality and the shape of your suit and, of course, your lapels. In my opinion, a domestic iron should go nowhere near your suits. So if you need to get rid of any wrinkles, use a steamer. They don't cost that much anymore. You can pick up a decent one for £50 to £100 on Amazon or any good local retail store. This is the way to keep your clothes in good nick in 2025. I'm not a big fan of irons. If you need to reinforce the seam of your trousers or the steamer is not doing enough to get rid of any stubborn wrinkles, say for example you've got a linen suit, then you might want to take that to a dry cleaners. I mean, you should be taking all your suits to the dry cleaners anyway, but these are 2 tips for maintenance when it comes to your lapels that I would recommend. So there you have it, guys, your ultimate guide to lapels. from what style you should choose, what width of lapels you should have. As you can see, guys, lapels are a small detail that makes a big difference. Got any questions about lapels or suits in general? Drop me a question in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then you will love my next video, where we will delve deeper into how a suit jacket should actually fit. So look out for that one. If you want to make sure that you don't miss it, hit the bell button so you're notified when it drops. But that's all I got for this one, guys. Once again, thanks so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you're new, subscribe and join the community. To regular viewers, like this video and share with a friend. And of course, to make sure you don't miss the next video, smash that bell icon button. But I will catch you as ever on the next one. Peace.